produced by Free Grace International in partnership with the Grace Evangelical Society.
Hi, my name is Shawn Lazar with Grace Evangelical Society. And people sometimes ask us, how can eternal security be true if we have free will? I get that question from both Calvinists and Arminians who are kind of wondering about this for different reasons. So our position is you have free will and you can freely believe in Jesus for eternal life. But once you believe in him for eternal life, you have eternal life, everlasting life. It's not temporary salvation. It's not a chance to be saved. You have everlasting life as a present possession. That's what John 3:16 and many other promises in John's gospel say. But how can that be true? Arminians will say, well, if you had free will to get eternal life, then that must mean you have free will to reject it. You should be able to walk away from eternal life. And they think that's a kind of a contradiction to say, well, you can't have both. If you have everlasting life, then you no longer have free will. Here's a very simple explanation. I think it's an explanation from common sense. It's true that you have freedom to make choices, but choices have consequences. And once you choose to do something, you don't always have the free will to take those consequences back. So for example, to give a silly example, back in 2006, I think, I heard about a new site called eBay where you can bid on products. And I was looking for my dream guitar, which is a green Rickenbacker 360. And I saw my dream guitar for about $800 was the starting bid on this site. And I thought, that's a steal because these things are very expensive. So I started bidding on this guitar on eBay. Well, over the next 5 days, I was like the leading bidder and I thought I was a shoo-in. But those last few hours bidding for this guitar, the price shot up from $800 to over $3,000. And I kind of got a thrill and a rush of bidding for this guitar and wanting to be the top bidder for this Rickenbacker. Well, by the time it got to 10 minutes and I saw that the price had now exceeded $3,000, I had that money, but I was a poor college student. And if I spent that money, that would have wiped me out for my food, for my rent, for all those things. And yet I clicked that button and I said, I want to be the top bidder for this guitar. And as soon as I clicked that button, I got to tell you, my stomach sank. I had the free will to click the button, but I did not have the free will to take away the consequences of me bidding over $3,000 for a guitar, which in hindsight, I think was obviously a really bad move. Well, you might have made... Long story short, I didn't actually get the guitar. Someone else bid $1 more than me, and I thanked and praised God that I didn't have to spend $3,000 on a guitar. But maybe you've made a choice with pretty severe consequences, and you had free will to make those choices, but the results were permanent, and you can't will away reality. Free will doesn't mean you get to make reality the way you want. Some choices have permanent results, permanent consequences, and you can't take them back. Well, the good news is, the promise of eternal life is a great example of that because even if you believe in Jesus for just a millisecond, you have everlasting life and you can never get it back. Now isn't that the best news that you've heard? This is one of those things where just 1 ounce, 1 millisecond of free will of believing in Jesus has the very best eternal consequences that you can possibly have. So to answer the question, how can eternal security be true if we have free will? You can be free to do an action such as believing, but you're not free to take away the consequences of those actions. Some free choices have permanent results. And the happy news of the gospel is that if you believe in Jesus for only a second, you have everlasting life and you can never, ever lose it. That's a permanent result, but it's one of the best permanent results you can possibly have.
Produced by Free Grace International in partnership with the Grace Evangelical Society. For more Free Grace content, visit GES's website at faithalone.org and FGI's website at freegrace.in.